get in order, or if not, you're gonna get caught in that rain, man.
This is Nahum chapter 1, verse 6. Who could stand before his indignation?
Right, nobody can stand before the Most High's righteous judgment. And when judgment is rained on you, what happens? Let's use an example in the courts. When the judge sets his or her judgment on you, what happens? You're hit with court fees. Whatever the situation may be, you may lose your license, you may lose your child. You get put in jail for a period of time. Then after that, you still gotta pay fees. You get put on probation. Right, they hit you. Now you got felonies on your record. That means you can't get certain jobs. You know.
Who can stand before his indignation?
Right. Which of you 2/3 Negro and Latino can stand before the Most High's indignation, or His Son Yahweh Shai, His righteous judgment?
And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger?
And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? He's coming back angry, man. The scriptures say he's a man of war, and that he's not gonna meet you as a man again. He's talking to you is 2/3 Negro and Latinos, and to you heathen, ultimately Esau, you Edomites, the so-called white man. He's not gonna meet you as a man the way he came riding on a donkey, man. He's coming back like the Most High promised him that he's gonna set his enemies his enemy's gonna be a footstool, and all his enemies are gonna be under him. That's what he's waiting for. That's what he's coming back for. That promise. And he's hungry for it. Like the scriptures say, he's like a lion in the thicket, waiting to devour the Gentiles, the heathen.
Just say real quick, and I was at the library, man, when I was telling you, looking that stuff up. But I looked up on the internet. I wanted to, because I was looking up a specific topic, but there was a Google that popped up. Talk about the negating of the Bible. You know, they were trying to, so I clicked on it, man. I wanted to see what they were trying to what crap they wanted to say about the Bible this time, man. So, but they were talking about the Most High, and since the beginning of the time, they noticed with the entire book that everything that happened in the Bible, it was true, but it always came out as, they called him a military operator, man. The Most High, like you just said, he's a man of war from the beginning of time. So, like you were saying earlier too, the Most High, he don't change. If he's been like a man of war since the beginning of time, what's he gonna be like this time? Because he did come, like we had spoke about, he did come in peace at one point in time. That's when he was crucified, man. He came peaceful, but look what y'all did. So now he's gonna come back, like you said, like a man of war, and he ain't gonna hold his peace.
And also too, like Maccabee in the book of Maccabees, he was looked at as a lion. You know what I'm saying? That he was a man of war. He was valiant in war. King David was valiant in war, and many other great men in the scriptures. Where do they get that characteristic from? Yahweh Shai. Where do men even get the concept of war and the organization and the different ranks that have you from the Most High, Yahweh Shai? Setting up officers and generals and what have you. It's from Yahweh Shai. He's about order.
Nahum,
he's not just some hippie like they try to depict. He's not just some hippie just chilling, you know, all looking all weak, you know what I'm saying, all lanky and weak, long hair, looking all shaggy, with blue eyes, and his long beard, and smoking weed or whatever they have. The Most High, he's a strong man. They said that he's an austere man.
And another too, like for instance, in the world, man, what do people usually do, man, when you call them weak, man? Like when you know when they know you're being serious, and you're like, man, you're weak. You can't defend yourself. What usually happens 9 times out of 10, man? These 2/3 they like to go off and brawl each other, man, to show their strength. That's like the Most High. Everybody's imagining him as this weak power, but he's fed up, and he's coming back to show his true power. Which really, man, this so-called true power he's coming back to show, man, it still is nothing, man. It's like the scripture said in Ecclesiasticus about he makes judgment. It's an easy thing. This is gonna be easy to him. It's like him lifting up his pinky, man, and just squashing a bug. It ain't no, man, you don't know the depths of the power of the Most High. What he's doing here, this ain't nothing, man.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 17. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of an helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise, talking about the elect. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds as from a well-drawn bow shall they fly to the mark, and hailstones full of, and they're gonna fly to the mark. That's Yahweh Shai is he's perfected his craft. You know what I'm saying? Like he got the eye of the eagle, he got the eye of the tiger, what they say. He got it, man. He's mastered it. He's a great man of war. And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the flood shall cruelly drown them. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. But the point is that Yahweh Shai is gonna put all those different like jealousy and what have you as his armor, man. And he's coming back as a raging, as a man of war.
And the commandments, one of the commandments, man, he told you what he was like. From the very beginning, when he gave the very first commandments that he gave to Moses, what was the part? What was the second commandment? That you shouldn't worship any graven image. But at the end of it, it said that he is a jealous God. That's the whole thing. He's jealous, and like what does it say in Proverbs? That jealousy is the rage of a man. That day he will not spare. So, but let me go ahead and read it again. Nahum. This is Nahum 1:6. Who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him.
There you go again. He's coming back to pour all that he has out. Like he's not gonna hold back nothing. It's like Esau's gonna pour out all his devices, and he's gonna use every single thing, every single device he's created to destroy the whole house of Israel. Yahweh Shai is gonna come back and pour out all the cup. He's not gonna leave not one drop in it. It's gonna be poured out completely, and he's gonna show his true power.
The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble.
A stronghold in the day of trouble, meaning that you keep your security, whatever different devices you have, or your policies you have with the insurance company or what have you, that ain't gonna save you. Your money ain't gonna save you. No, whatever authority you may think you have is gonna deliver you. Or what other men look as you as being. It's not gonna save you. The Lord ain't looking at none of that. The Lord's looking and seeing if you're doing what he says to do, and being humble, and having a contrite spirit. You know, doing what the Most High says for you to do, not what the world told you to do, or what your own wicked ass mind tells you to do.
The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. Verse 7, the Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble.
And the Lord is good, and he's a stronghold in the day of trouble, right? Who's the Lord good to? This is Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. That's who the Lord's going to be good to. And he's going to be a fortress and a shield in the day of trouble. You ain't gotta do nothing but do what he said for you to do as a man or a woman. Come into this truth, this knowledge, and dig deep and retain it and eat this spiritual food and apply it to your daily life. That's when the Lord's gonna deliver you. That's how the Lord's gonna deliver you out of all these sad perils that are about to come and that they're playing on the earth, but slowly it's being played out.
Ecclesiasticus 4 and 28. Strive for the truth until death, and the Lord shall fight for thee.
Yeah, well, you gotta continue in the truth, and the Lord's gonna fight for you. You gotta continue growing in the spirit, and the Lord will fight for you. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good to you.
Nahum 1 and 7. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him.
And he knows them that trust in him. Trust in what? His words. How can we trust in him if we ain't never heard what he said? We didn't ever know what he looked like or what he was about. How do we trust in him? Because we go back to reading. That's how we trust him. And hope.
And he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof.
There you go. Like the brother was saying, he's going to overdo it. An overrunning flood. It's just like you have a pot full of water and it's boiling. And what happens when you leave it over on the fire? The lid will pop off and the water will start flowing out everywhere. And it'll get to the point where there won't even be no more water in there. It'll just be all dried up and just getting hot and hot and hot. That's how it's going to be here in America. All the rivers, the oceans, certain parts of the ocean is gonna be evaporate. It's gonna go to low levels, low sea level. The rivers and the lakes, ponds and everything.
But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof.
What place thereof? This place called America and ultimately Esau's kingdom.
And darkness shall pursue his enemies.
And darkness shall pursue his enemies. What is darkness? Death. Whatever form it may come in, the sword, whatever form it comes in. It comes in diseases. Food, not having the food. You're attacked by a man or an animal. You know what I'm saying? Or you're killed by a soldier. You're tortured.
And darkness shall pursue his enemies. What do you imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. But while they be folded together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry.
Well, all you 2/3 are drunk in this world. Y'all are drunk, but not by drink. Y'all staggered, but not by wine. What are y'all staggering drunk by? This place called America. Y'all are the things that America offers, man. That's what y'all drunk by. Y'all drunk by y'all's own confidence. I believe that there's a song by Drake that he says something like that. He's drunk over his confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all. That's gonna be y'all's downfall. Read it one more time. That bottom.
Verse 10. For while they be folded together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry.
Yeah, you're gonna be devoured as stubble fully dry. Meaning y'all are dry bones, like it says in Ezekiel. Y'all are just dried up bones. Y'all are dried up land. You ain't got no water, which is a spiritual drink. It's the truth, it's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Y'all don't got it in y'all's body. Like you can drink all the water you want here, right? Faucet, you can buy water, right? You're hydrated. The Lord still looks at you as being dry as bones, as a dry land, because you're lacking this spiritual aspect of it. You get in the physical, but you got to remember there's a spiritual aspect to it. It's like you're walking on your 2 feet. That's a physical aspect of your existence, but then you got your spiritual aspect which is dwelling inside of you. Y'all don't take care of that part. Y'all don't condition it. How do you condition it? Coming to the scriptures, being comforted by it, and rehearsing it, practicing it, going according to what the Most High instructed you to do.
This is Ezekiel 15:6. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, as a vine tree among the trees of the forest, which I have given to the fire for fuel, so will I give the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Right, 2/3 are going to be given to the fire. That's your reward. That's your punishment.
And I will set my face against them.
Meaning that he's not looking on you. He's not dealing with you. You aren't meant to get the truth. Yeah, you may have accomplished, you may have gotten to a certain level in your life. You made it to be a rapper, right? You made it to be a whatever the hell you fucking chase after. But that's just the Lord. He's giving you what you desire. But that doesn't mean that he's dealing with you. The Lord deals with those that are weak and not looked upon as being nothing. Those are the ones that he's dealing with. The elect are nobodies. They're nothing. But in the Most High, I don't want to say, but in the Lord's eyes, we're not just, we say that to be humble. We're nothing. But in the Lord's eyes, we're a precious stone. We're gold.
Second Timothy, like I said, in 2 Timothy, the 2nd chapter, it said, it said that the man that he has chosen, the Most High has chosen to be a soldier for him, may please him. You know, because I was talking to the brother, man, and I said that I had made a comment, but he goes, really, man, he said we're not weak. Take a look at me, for example. I'm a small, skinny ass guy, man, but the Most High chose me to be a soldier for him. I'm not saying I'm like that's why we would say humble, man. I ain't nothing. I ain't shit, man. I would say it like that, and I could be easily taken out, but the Most High, like I said in Psalms 98, right, which says, "Who shall stand against the evildoers?" That's what he's looking at us, man. Because you can look at a mighty ass man, but he ain't gonna come up and stand up here and say, "Fuck America. America's gonna be destroyed. Esau's a devil." See?
And what do the 2/3 or the heathen mighty men do? They do shit in secret. That's where they be bold. They be bold in secret or behind your back, or they'll send one of their little minions to go do their dirty work. But they won't come out themselves. And if they want to talk shit, they'll talk shit to you in a place where it's hidden. What does the scripture say? Open rebuke is better than secret love. And to rebuke before all.
Yeah, but you're saying about the mighty men, because that's who he's coming back to take out. I'll read it for you. Back to that whole thing with the day of the Lord. Ecclesiasticus chapter 35, verse 18. For the Lord will not be slack, neither.
There you go. There's that word again. He's not going to be slack, meaning that he's not going to let you slide. You're not exempt from whatever you deserve, from going off, from doing against what the Lord said for you not to do.
Neither will the mighty be patient toward them till he has smitten and sundered the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he have taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous, till he have rendered.
Who has the scepter? Who's the unrighteous that has the scepter right now? Esau.
Till he have rendered to every man according to his deeds.
Exactly.
And to the works of men according to their devices.
According to their devices, their conspiracies, conspiring against certain people, their nations behind their back, but in your face they're speaking to you as if they're your friend. Those mighty men, those 2/3 are the heathen. They're weak, man. They're weak. They're not being strong for the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Till he had judged the cause of his people and made them to rejoice in his mercy.
All right, we're going to rejoice in his mercy. The scriptures say that they're going to be cursing the Lord when they're going to be hit up with them torments. But you might even have some, but they're not going to mean. You're going to have some that are going to try to be asking the Lord for forgiveness in that time, but it's not going to work. Well, the scriptures say they are, but it's too late. And what are they going to do? They're going to be so in an agonizing state. They're going to be speaking against the Lord still. They're mad at him. It's just like if you have a bad you have a child and you're whipping his ass, and it gets to a point where they get older, and what do? They talk back, or they try to